Shadow Stan. Shadows are spooky. Shadows are weird. Sometimes they trick us and make us feel scared. Sometimes in darkness we misunderstand and see strange shapes and figures with long pointy hands. When we turn in our beds in the middle of the night, sometimes these shadows can give us a fright. But sometimes these shapes contain an odd little man who goes by the name of Shadow Stan. He sits in the dark in the corner of the room where the lights can't reach to the gloomiest gloom. He wants to be friends and follow you around, so don't be afraid when he's there on the ground. He's there to help and watch what you do. He's there to give hugs and to look after you. When you see shadows at the top of the stairs, you stand chasing the mice who just don't seem to care. Sometimes he's big and very, very tall. Sometimes he's tiny. Sometimes not there at all. Sometimes he's huge, crawling far across the land. Sometimes climbing the wall, ready to lend a helping hand. Shadow Stan follows everywhere you go, to the top of the pyramids or the caves down below. From the sun in the east, he grows even stronger, to the moon in the west, stretching longer, longer, longer and longer. He can reach to the sky to look around up above, as high as hot air balloons and the clouds and the doves. Way past the aliens on the surface of the moon, he'll be digging craters with his head shaped like a spoon. There are so many things that Stan can do. He'll even hop up on stage to sing and dance with you. He'll jump hoops at the circus and play with the clowns. Just because he looks a bit gloomy doesn't mean that he frowns. He likes to swim in the river and tidy trolleys that were dumped. He's ever so helpful and never in a grump. He likes to come shopping and chase you down the aisles, counting your vegetables with a wink and a smile. He'll follow you home to be sure you arrive at the door, counting your footsteps as he's stretched on the floor. When you look through the keyhole, he'll be keeping watch on your home, making sure that you're safe and never feeling alone. When you blow out your candles, he'll be flickering about, and his gravelly voice, "Happy birthday!" he'll shout. He'll spot your weights and lift you up from the dumps, even though his muscles are mere tiny black bumps. He can dive deep below, beyond sunken ships, curling around seaweed in the troughs and the dips. If you're lost out at sea, he'll be holding the sail, catching the wind, guiding you home without fail. On the blustery days along wet winding lanes, he'll be flapping about in the wind and the rain. In the cabaret bars with the kings and the queens, he'll be shaking his stuff while you cheer and scream. With a splash and a splosh among the foam and the suds, he'll be tumbling about when the washing goes thud. He's on the kitchen worktop, sat amongst the jars, squashed between bottles, watching from afar. When the TV flickers as you're resting your head, Stan will be watching behind you, preparing for bed. In the wild, wild woods, among the tall, twisty trees, Stan will be mooching about, dragging his fingers through leaves. On the city streets, where the foxes run wild, he'll be collecting litter into neat little piles. By the gates of the park, he'll watch rabbits run by, with their waggling tails and poo that is dry. On the building site, by the rakes and the spades, he'll be stacking the bricks or taking a rest in the shade. He's friends with the animals and everyone at the zoo. He'll be riding giraffes and waving to you. When out in the garden, protecting worms from the crows, he'll throw his hands high as they nibble his toes. In your backyard, near the bins and the plants, he'll be there by the ladder, doing a strange little dance. When out at the farm, with the cows and the pigs, he'll be carving out furrows, because Stan loves to dig. In the leaves of the bushes, with the bugs and the grubs, he'll be next to the stalk, waiting to give you a hug. By the waterfalls and lakesides and the edge of the cliff, he'll be bobbing about, playing with the fish. When you're out at dinner, having posh burgers and chips, he'll be helping the waiter and giving them tips. On Halloween night, with the kids dressed up as ghosts, he'll be wiggling around like a bendy lamppost. When you're sketching, scribbling, or writing some notes, he'll be posing and playing to inspire you with hope. Working and sharing together will help us grow strong, and when we walk unafraid, we'll find where we belong. We can all learn from Stan and how he likes to join in. There's light in the darkness, and this is where it ends and begins.